Hey guys, I'm Jay Randall and welcome back to my channel where I discuss wisdom for the modern man. Today guys, I got another video to react to. This one is brought to us by the YouTube channel The Breakup Bounce. The title of the video, Heated Debate About Cheating. Is forgiving considered brave? And what if the kids aren't yours? Without further ado, let's get right into the video.
So many people will be watching this going, I've had infidelity in my relationship and we're 10 years past that and we have an extraordinary relationship, and how dare you invalidate my entire relationship?
What about the millions of people who have watched it and thought to themselves, if I had just known this, I wouldn't have carried on with that woman, started a family with her, and now she lives in my home with another man and I pay child support. What about those people? When women cheat, there is it's more definitive, as in that it's harder for them to come backwards from cheating. When your woman cheats on you, it's very difficult to forgive her. I wouldn't recommend it. I highly don't recommend it.
Why should men not forgive the women they're with who cheat on them?
Because for a woman to cheat on you, it's not that she's
right.
fallen in love with another man. She's just definitely not in love with you.
Ooh, man,
And
that's
so
gonna
for
hurt.
you to take her back is just providing her free accommodation until she meets a man she wants to fall in love with. A lot of
Okay. She nailed it. I know I'm stopping it really early, but I was hoping she got it right, and she did. She said it's not necessarily that she fell in love with the other guy. That's true. She might not be in love with him. But the second part, what she said was the true point. She's definitely not in love with you. In order for a woman to give herself to another man, has to completely remove you from her mind and emotions to able to do that act. So yeah, okay. I'll give her all that. She's nailing it so far.
God, no, women are so emotionally attached to sex. No. Some women can literally have an affair with a local PT who doesn't care about her and she doesn't really care about him.
True.
It's what the driving force is, not the love for the guy that she's cheating on. It's a lack of love and respect for the man she's cheating on.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah,
nailing
and
it.
so when you forgive her and retry with the relationship, she's already decided she doesn't really want to be with you, but she will stay in this until she finds someone that will love
So
her.
if a man cheats on a woman that he's in a committed relationship with, is it also saying he doesn't respect and love her?
It's more of a lack of respect and a lack of fear of losing the relationship. A lot of them can say that they can compartmentalize. They want their relationship.
It's not a lack of respect. And I know a lot of women find this very hard. And like I said, I'm not advocating cheating. I think if you're in a good, stable relationship, that both parties should not be cheating. That's what I say. Okay? So I'm not saying that men should have a free hall pass when it comes to cheating. No. But I'm telling you, from the men's mental state, we can be 1000% in love with our girl, would never leave her. If she was ever in need of help, we would drop what we're doing in a heartbeat and rush over there like freaking Superman. But we can still find other women sexually attractive and sleep with them, and it mean absolutely nothing. I mean, if the girl we're sleeping with on the side were to die tomorrow, it wouldn't even register on the emotional scale. Sometimes you even forget her name. Bro, I'm telling you, we're that detached from the act. But I know a lot of women, they can't fathom it because for them, emotions and sex are intertwined. They're like almost one and the same. You can't do one without the other. And when a woman does get to a place where she can do one without the other, it's typically because she's had way too many sexual partners and she's completely desensitized to where now her mental state is like a man's. And at that point, that she's done. She's finished. You don't want to deal with a woman who can compartmentalize sex like a man. That means she's broken. Unfortunately, I don't really think there's coming back from that. Maybe some women can, but if she can compartmentalize sex like a man, that is a huge, massive red flag. You want to deal with women who intertwine the emotions with sex because that means the bond she has with you when she's sleeping with you is going to be stronger. But let's keep going.
They love their wife very deeply. They want all of that, but they are just outsourcing the sex because it might be lacking, or it's not the way they like it, or they're outsourcing a feeling. Women, when they cheat, it's not so much that there's something they're craving outside. It's just there's something in the house that they're just not happy with. I've had clients come on the phone or a video call, and I've switched on my screen and I've looked at the couple and I say, I can tell she's cheating.
No way.
Without saying a word. They haven't said a word to me. And I remember the last couple I did this with, and I looked and I thought, she's having an affair, but I'm not going to say anything.
You said it publicly? Or?
After a comment, and I said, what brings you here? And she started with, we have a great relationship. We're very good. Everything is good. We just don't love each other anymore. And I said, can you be honest with me? Are you having an affair? And she said, well, recently, it transpired that she has having an affair. And I said, I can tell by your lack of connection to your husband, your lack of love. Most people, when they come on a therapy call, he was all suited and booted, ready for this call, like save my marriage. She was literally just like, oh God, do we have to do this? Like the disconnect that was there was no coming back from him. It looked like she was held like by the throat to be there. And that's such a...
Yeah. See, he wanted it more than she did, which inherently is unattractive, right? When the man wants the woman more than she wants him, that is a terrible, terrible dynamic. This is why when you hear women on podcasts saying, "Oh, the man needs to love the woman more," absolutely not, bro. That's when you end up in these situations. This is why, man, you have to be that guy, and you want to get with a woman that views you as that guy. You want to be her first choice. You do not want to be in a situation where you had her on a pedestal, you chased her, you pursued her, whatever you want. Just please be in a relationship with me. Marry me, please. I'll give you the world. No, see, that will mess you up because now she views you as beneath her. She views herself as way above you, and that is going to showcase itself in a variety of different ways in the relationship. She has to view you as him, as that guy, look up to you, admire you. You have to be her everything that she ever wanted. I'm being so serious. I know that sounds extreme, and I know that might be a hard thing to live up to, but you got to work on yourself to have that image in her eye, bro. Because you'll end up in situations like this where you want it more than she does, and that's unattractive. She wants a guy that doesn't want it as bad as she does. It sounds crazy, but that's the truth.
Common theme when a woman cheats, it seems to be like, I'm not actually in love with you anymore, but I'll make it work because the guy, I haven't got as many alternatives. So what I say to men is, firstly, not only is she not in love, the second thing is it ignites something in a man that's not good for him. And the main thing it ignites is a feeling of inadequacy, sexual inadequacy and masculinity, but it can lead to physical abuse when it comes to a man. That anger and rage, some men will use that anger and rage to just leave and go work on themselves. Other men will use that anger and rage to control and to abuse.
Relationship can truly repair and heal after someone has cheated.
Not when a woman cheats.
When a woman cheats, you think it's a lot harder, or you just don't think it's possible?
Not possible. Every time a man forgives a woman cheating, she eventually leaves him for forgiving her.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Bro, she's cooking right now, bro. Like, I'm surprised. Usually women be capping and, oh no, yeah, you can, and you can forgive her, and she's being real, bro. She's dropping some serious red pills, bro. Pay attention. This is rare. It's rare. But then again, I believe her name is Sadia. I mean, sometimes she misses the mark, but lately the videos I've been seeing with her, she's been on point with the facts. So yeah, bro, like it's rare. When a woman cheats on a man, it is extremely rare to come back from that. She's spitting, bro. It's true.
Why is that? It's just because of lack of self-respect? Is it a lack of...
She understands now that there is no boundaries to this relationship. Most women are under the impression that a man would leave. Men tend to think that women can be a bit softer and emotional and they can kind of convince them. Most women tend to assume men will leave because that's what they tell each other. Oh, I would never put up with it. I would never put up with it. So when she learns he's willing to accept the unacceptable, she now realizes unacceptable behavior will run with him. And therefore, there is no motivator to prevent it happening again. When women cheat, you're simply waiting for her to leave. When she's got that curiosity and she opens herself up to being pleased by other people, it becomes difficult to revert back to monogamy.
Oh, I can be pleased by someone else as well, or maybe it's better or different. It can be man or
woman. It could be man or woman. When you open that door up for her to unlock that part of her to somebody else, it becomes difficult to reverse. There is a lack of respect that comes afterwards, and there's a willingness to try again, and it just means she rarely stops.
Bro, I'm going to tell you guys, man, listen. I've had a lot of men come to me, talking to me about telling me they got cheated on, and they give me the whole rundown. And they try to stay. Don't do it, bro. I'm telling you, don't do it. As a man, you have to stand on business. And you have to stand on principles, bro. You cannot put your self-respect beneath the relationship. Your respect must be, it's paramount. Okay? There is no relationship without her respecting you. Okay? And once she's crossed that line, and then she now knows, just like she said, she now knows that she can get away with literally the worst thing you can do to a man. All right? One of the worst things you could do to a man is cheat on him. The next worst thing is get knocked up by another dude and have him raise the kid. Okay? Actually, the kid one is worse. I'm not going to hold you. But that is one of the worst things you could do to a man is cheat on him, right? It's just, you got dominated by another dude and he accepted that. It immediately demonstrates that you care more about her than you do your own self-respect as a man. And immediately your value in her eye plummets. Plummets. I'm telling you, bro. And you taking her back is only going to incentivize her to disrespect you even more. Because now she knows the boundaries can be pushed with no consequences. Now she's going to disrespect you more. She's going to do even more stuff. I promise she's going to cheat again. She's going to cheat again. If you think it's just that one time and she's so sorry. No, bro. Bro, don't do it. Don't put yourself in that situation. Value your self-respect. Your self-respect is paramount when it comes to a relationship with a woman. The second that respect is gone, it's over. And it's very rare that it will ever get it back. Because she's like, you let me do that. You let another man do that to me and then took me back. It's like you got to view me as more valuable than your self-respect. Don't. Just walk away. It's over. It's unfortunate, but it's over.
Because she's now checked out of the relationship. It's better to just let her go rather than hold her and then have so much rage and either rage towards her or rage towards yourself. Either way, it's not good. And I know that sounds too definitive and too negative, but in the original, when I first started my practice, I used to take a lot of my inspiration from Esther Perel, where she's like, you can rebuild, have those conversations. What I noticed is the rebuilding is just buying time. When there weren't dating apps, it might kind of undo itself. In this day and age, when there's so many alternatives combined with almost what they see as permission, it means delaying the divorce.
All right, Mazzy, I'm curious about your thoughts. With the women that you work with, and I know women cheat that come to your retreats, or they're trying.
Bro, all right, look. With the videos I've seen of this guy, not the guy on the screen, but the other guy he's about to talk to, I believe his name is Matthew Hussey, something like that. He does videos where he gives women advice, relationship advice. And I'm just going to be honest. He has a very simpy mentality where he panders to women. Have I seen him give good advice to women? Yes, but it's very rare. It's very like one-off little clips I'll see. I was like, okay, that's some decent advice. But most of the time, it's straight pandering. It's straight feel good. I'm going to tell you what you want to hear. That's not going to hurt your feelings. I'm not going to give you the raw reality. I'm not going to tell you, you need to change. You're the problem. It's, just like, blah, blah. It's just very soft, bro. So I'm curious as to what he's going to say, because I have a feeling that he is going to give really bad advice to men. But let's see. Let's see if I'm right. Maybe he's been watching some Red Pill and he's a little bit more aware, but I don't think so.
Like heal and fix their broken heart and all these different things, repair from being cheated on, all these different things. Why do you think women cheat, or the ones that have communicated why they cheated? What's the main reason women cheat in a long-term relationship? And can a relationship repair after cheating occurs?
I struggle immensely with the kind of way that this is being framed. The talk about, women cheat because they don't respect their man. So many people cheat because they are craving an emotional connection that they're not getting inside their relationship. I mean, how many women are with men that are never present, who don't show up for them, who workaholic, obsessed with their business, obsessed with something else. And then all of a sudden they find that they develop an emotional connection with someone on the outside. That maybe started innocently enough, but that emotional connection turned into something more. We're missing a giant archetype there, which is the woman who
started innocently enough. Bro, already he's given women too much grace in this situation. Women know what they're doing. Like, stop playing these games. Like, I'm even willing to say it on the men's part. When a man cheats, he knows what he's doing. But somehow, every time the topic of women cheating comes up, we try to pretend like, oh, well, it was started innocently. We didn't know it was going to go there. It just happened. We didn't know, like, I didn't see it going this far. Bro, like, we always frame it that way when it comes to female cheating. No. She knows what she's doing. She knows he's flirting with her. She knows she's flirting back. She knows the emotion she's feeling. Women have way more interactions with the opposite sex in a lifetime than most men have with the opposite sex from a relationship, romantic, sexual standpoint. So she knows when a man is flirting with her, trying to make a move, trying to make something happen. But we always frame it like, it started off innocent enough. We never thought it would get that far. BS, bro. BS, don't buy it. Because the woman that cheats on you will try to frame it that way. I guarantee. Well, I just didn't think. And then one thing led to another. And I don't know. I wasn't thinking. And then all of a sudden, bro, don't let them pull that on you. They know exactly what they're doing. The same way a man knows exactly what he's doing, a woman knows exactly what she's doing. Don't let them play that game.
Craving connection. That's the precursor to a physical connection.
So would you say the fault lies in the man not meeting her needs or in the cheater herself?
That's wrong. And that's on either side to not have that conversation that, hey, I'm not getting my needs met. Can we talk about this? Or even, hey, I'm having feelings for someone. I need to talk about this because I don't want it to go to a place I can't come back from. So that of course that's wrong. The scope of why people cheat is a lot wider than, I don't respect my husband, and so I'm just going to go and do this. I struggle with this idea that women are, once they've cheated, they just can't look at their man the same way again. To kind of other women in that way, where it's like a woman is incapable of having the ability to go, oh my God, I have really up here. I have hurt the person that I love, who loves me. I've hurt this person that I've made a vow to, that I'm in this relationship with, who didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with them. That's on me. If this person is kind enough, if they have the space in their heart to forgive me, I'm going to honor that. The idea that that's impossible to me suggests that you feel like women are somehow missing a compassion gene.
It's not that they...
Bro, women rarely view it from... Bro. He is speaking from like a very hopeful standpoint. He's kind of hoping that women would move that way or act that way. Look at all the men who've been cheated on and they will tell you that's not how they view it. Oh my gosh, I can't believe they do it again, bro. Women in their minds view men as strong, view men as guys who stand on principle and boundaries. Once she views you as weak, once she knows that you stand on nothing, when the worst thing a woman can do has been put on the table and you accept that, bro, she can no longer see you as strong. It's like, you allowed me to get away with absolute murder and took me back and still are going to give me commitment. And bro, no. When you leave that chick, she might not like your decision. She might not be happy with your decision, but I guarantee she's going to respect you, as that dude stood on business. He wasn't about to sit there and tolerate my nonsense. And while I don't appreciate what he decided to do, I wish he chose differently, I respect his decision, because that's a man. A man that stays, bro, a man that stays. I'm sorry, she can't view the same way. And he's hoping that women will view it. And, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I can't believe that I did that. And then they never do it again. Once she's crossed that line and knows it's safe to cross that line without consequence, she's gonna do it again. It's like a child. Once you give them an inch, they're gonna take a mile.
A compassion gene, they're looking for protectiveness in a way that men don't look for in women.
I think that's incredibly reductive. And what does protect mean exactly?
A protectiveness is like a biological, we take it in an evolutionary sense. A protectiveness would be, from an alpha perspective in an evolutionary terms, it would be a man that protects his kin from cuckoldry. It protects his children being born from somebody else, essentially, paternal uncertainty. Now, from a primitive perspective, we look for men who not only can gather resources, but can also prevent paternal uncertainty. Now, when he's missing that fundamental, like he's not bothered about paternal
Less of
uncertainty,
a man.
it's not that
But
we're.
he is bothered. Let's say he's brokenhearted.
Masculinity is about knowing when to walk away, as we
You are
did.
framing
Thank you. Thank you. Masculinity is about knowing when to walk away. That is your superpower as a man, walking away. Because guess what? You can't hit her. You can't hit her. You can't physically force her to do what you want her to do. And it's like your only option is walking away. You can't physically force her. She's a free agent. The only power you have is to walk away from a situation that isn't serving you. That's the only superpower you have.
as the antithesis of masculinity.
But you are framing forgiveness as acceptance.
Forgiveness is saying this relationship means more to me
Yeah.
than my pride or my ego. I love you. I want to make this work, and I'm going to be a big enough man to make this work in spite of this.
But
that
why-
makes
No. I know I'm pausing it a lot. No. You cannot put your pride beneath the relationship. That is a dangerous thing to do. When a woman knows that the relationship comes before your self-respect, comes before your pride, comes before your masculinity, when she knows that you put her above your own self-respect, that is a dangerous place. That's a dangerous thing to let a woman know. That is when she knows, oh my, that's you gave her the free pass to do everything. I'm going to put the relationship, no, the relationship comes after me. You have to respect me first before the relationship is even a thing. So if you now put the relationship up here above yourself and, okay, to keep the relationship, I'll accept you disrespecting me. I'll accept the fact that you let another man dominate you. I'll accept the fact that you've been sleeping with a bunch of other men. Because nowadays, bro, it's not even like one dude, a little affair on the side. No, it's like these girls do multiple dudes when they cheat on you, bro. Of the men that have come to me about being cheated on, majority, it wasn't one dude. It was minimum two. Minimum two men she was dealing with on the side. I'm telling you, bro. And you put the relationship above yourself, she's going to now view it, okay, I got him. I can do everything. And I promise you she's going to do it again. Of all the men who've come to, look at the comment section. Look at any video talking about cheating. The men will tell you exactly what I'm telling you. Every time the man takes back the woman, it only gets worse. It only gets worse. And not only are you going to have more anxiety because you're wondering where she's at. When she's at work, you're wondering what she's doing, where she's at, who she's talking to, what she's up to. So now you're not in a place of peace or calm. Your anxiety's spiked up. You're upset. You're angry. You have all these dark thoughts of what happened or what could have happened. Bro, you don't want that life. You want mental peace. A man's life should be as peaceful as humanly possible. All right? So when a woman's bringing that kind of trauma and stress onto your mind, bro, you're not even going to be happy. So why are you even there in the first place? You're not going to be able to trust her the same way you used to trust her. And nowadays, women don't care. They don't care to, after they cheat on you, to put in the work to prove that they're truly sorry. They just want you to get over it and move on with the relationship. I made a mistake. Can you just forgive me so we can move on? The amount of men that have come to me telling me that their girl cheated on them, and the coldness that the women show to them when the men express their pain, it will enrage you, bro. The things they say to them boils down to essentially, oh my gosh, okay, I'm sorry. Can you just get over it? Can we just move on now? Are you going to keep talking about it? Oh my gosh. Can we just move on? Like, I'm telling you, he hopes that that woman is going to view it from a standpoint of, oh my God, I'm so sorry. What can I do to prove that my loyalty is here and that I'll never do? No, it's more so, oh my gosh, can we just move on? That is typically what men report after a woman has cheated on them, right? And I know there's going to be people out there, well, men cheat too, men cheat too. We're not talking about that right now. We know. I know. I'll tell you straight up right now, just to get that out of the way. Yes, men cheat too. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about women and what men should do in the situation when they get cheated on. And it's not stay. I know. There's a marriage, there's a relationship, there might be kids involved. But for the sake of just your mental health, your mental state, and for the sake of your future, bro, you deserve a woman who's going to respect you and not go out there and let another man dominate her mentally and physically. No, you deserve better than that. So let's keep going.
Makes him the bigger person. It doesn't make him emasculate. You're
Yes, it
framing
does.
forgiveness as he's emasculated himself by forgiving her,
He
and
has.
she can never get over that moment of him emasculating
I
himself.
believe that very, very strongly. And the
It's very
reason
true.
being is that the relationship should mean loads to you, but part of you should understand for her to do this, we don't see the relationship in the same light. Your inability to understand the importance of reciprocity is what makes you less masculine. It's not a case of forgive me all day, every day. But for me to step out on you means that this relationship means something different in your eyes than it does in my eyes. There's some women that lack emotional connection, but they don't progress to cheating. There's some women that lack financial stability. They don't go to cheating. I think the lacking is one component, but it's not the only.
But I
It's
guess
the
what I'm
lack
saying
of
is, why is it
respect.
different for men?
I personally don't think there's much coming back from when men cheat either. But in my personal experience, sometimes what I notice is men go into two categories, right? Some men will, when a woman forgives them, they'll think, right, I've got a freedom pass. I can do this forever. I'm going to do this forever. Other men will think, I've done it. I've tried all types of, it's usually sexual. So it's out of my system.
Or I hurt myself, I hurt my wife,
I hurt myself, and
I could lose my family and my kids.
Yeah, there's too much to lose, and then they can repair. With women, it's just and also the other thing is he doesn't start to think less of her for forgiving him. In my experience, men don't think less of a woman for forgiving him. They might think, they might go and disrespect and do it again, but they still think, oh, she's really loyal, and they kind of like the forgiveness. They kind of appreciate the forgiveness.
That is so key. That's the fundamental difference. When you forgive her, she views you as less of a man. When she forgives you, you view her as man. She's a real one. She's a rider, bro. This is a dang. And it makes you start thinking in your head like, man, I got a real chick. I need to start treating her better. I can't do this again to her, bro. Like she put up with that and stood by me. Like, man, this is a real girl right here, bro. She's a ride or die. And that you thinking of it that way is going to make you be a better man for her. She's not thinking of it that way. It's like, he let me do that? Oh my God. Do you know what he did to me? Do you know how he was having sex with me? Do you know what I let him do to my body? And you're cool with that? You're just going to let me stay? You're going to keep giving me your commitment even though I violated in every way, shape, or form our contract? You're letting me get away with that? You're supposed to be that strong, masculine, dominant man, but you let another man take what's yours and you're just going to you're going to be cool with that? That's how she's viewing it, bro. And most women will not admit it. She's admitting it because, I don't know, thank God she's keeping it real. I guess because she deals with men, so she's keeping it real. But women aren't going to view it that way. Men will. We're going to be like, man, she's a real one, bro. She's a ride or die. She actually forgave me. Like, dang, I need to do better by her because, wow, I really appreciate that. She really cares about me. We respect it more. And I want to say this, you can fundamentally see the difference in how they view this based on who their business comes from. Matthew, this is why it's very dangerous to take advice from men, even though they're men, because they always say, go to the fisherman, not the fish. But here we have the fish giving way more rational, logical, solid advice than the fisherman. Matthew, His business model is centered around women. It's women focused. 99% of his audience, 99% of the people who buy his courses and all his books, I'm sure, are women. He has to pander to them. He has to. If he starts being, telling the truth and being, giving the actual facts, his audience isn't going to like that. Women do not like being held accountable. They don't like being told you did wrong, you're the problem. If he starts having any of that language other than, acceptance and forgiveness and it's not her fault, I need to understand from her perspective and blah, blah, blah. If he doesn't push that narrative, he's going to lose business. He's going to lose money. I promise you. If he switched up his routine today and started telling women, actually, no, you're the problem. You messed up. You need to do better. It's not his fault. You're doing XYZ. He's losing his audience. Sadia now, she deals with mostly men. She also deals with women, but mostly men she gives advice to. So she's going to give more realistic, here's what you need to do for the best results type advice. So I just want to put that out there. Be very careful when you're taking advice from men in general, men and women. But when a man's audience is pandering to women, is catered for women, be careful. We've seen this with Steve Harvey. Look how his advice sounds. It sounds very similar to Matthew's. We've seen this with, I forgot his name. It's that one black guy who was always giving advice, talking about how men are crap and how women deserve the world. And then he ended up finding out that he was cheating on his wife the whole time. Be very careful when a man giving advice he's giving advice, but his audience is mostly women, because the advice will be very skewed. I just want to put that out there.
With a forgiveness, when you give to a woman, it just makes her feel like I have a man that doesn't respect himself more. He likes the relationship more than he likes himself.
The primary emotion for most people when they cheat, unless they're incredibly unhealthy, is shame. It's terrible shame. It's guilt that overwhelms them.
Underlying trait to cheat is a lack of guilt and a lack of...
Bruv. Shame. Bro, I wish modern women felt shame. We need more shame. Something that is lacking in the generation of women we have today is shame. This man clearly hasn't seen enough TikTok videos and know how modern women move out here, because they are shameless. Have you seen the things they're willing to say on camera? The things they're willing to admit to? The things that they do? The way that they dress? The way they live their lives? Shame? Shame is greatly lacking in this generation of women. I'm telling you, shame is not there. But let me back up a little bit, because I want to hear what they said, that little exchange there.
He likes the relationship more than he likes himself.
The primary emotion for most people when they cheat, unless they're incredibly unhealthy, is shame. It's terrible shame. It's guilt that overwhelms them.
Underlying trait to cheat is a lack of guilt and a lack of shame. I think to get there involves an element of lack of shame and guilt.
I don't know that that's true. There's so many people who cheat are guilt-ridden, shame-ridden, hate themselves afterwards.
Nope.
Regret it for years. The idea that women are sort of especially bad and underhanded, and that they'll go and cheat, and once they've cheated, to add insult to injury, if he forgives her, they'll go, yuck, you forgave me.
Absolutely,
I have
yeah.
no respect for you now. That is perpetuating an idea that actually makes a lot of men incredibly angry at women for very unjust reasons, because the truth is women are just as capable of feeling, and in many cases more so, feeling tremendous shame and guilt after they've cheated. That is the headline. The headline isn't, if he forgives me, I am going to keep screwing him over and over again. The headline
then how
is,
do you explain...
I am guilt-ridden, and if he's forgiven me, I still struggle with the guilt, and it's going to take me a long time to get over.
If you ask somebody who's...
He's hoping. Bro, stop. Talk to men. See, the problem is, he's listening to what women say and not looking at their actions. You can tell. The fundamental rule, the first thing you learn when you come into the red pill space, the manosphere community, is look at their actions, not their words. Look at what they do, not what they say. because he's around so much women and they're just talking, he's listening to what they say. And they might be telling him, "Oh my God, I'm so ashamed. I can't believe this happened. I can't believe I feel so guilty for what I did. And oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. And oh, I can't believe, I just hope he would forgive me. And I don't know." He's hearing that. He's hearing that. What he's not doing is following up and looking at their actions. They're saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I can't believe." But their actions, which is them continuing to cheat, their actions, which is them showing their husband less respect after he takes them back, their actions showing that, I'm going to do it again, their actions showing that I'm going to leave because I can't respect you the same way, actions say a very different thing than the words coming out of their mouth. And that's another problem when you have a guy whose entire business model is centered around pandering to women. He only hears what they say and he doesn't look at what they do. That's a very dangerous thing. That's why everything he's saying sounds so hopeful, but it doesn't sound very fact-based. Every time she speaks, she says, "From my experience, what I've noticed, what I've seen, the data shows." She's talking about cases. Him, every time he speaks, he's talking about how he feels, how women feel, what they say, how they feel when they speak about it. He's not talking about what I've noticed, what I've experienced, what I've seen. He's just, "I would hope, and I would think, and what they say." He's not actually giving what actually happens. He's talking about women talking. Look at what they do, not what they say. That's the number one thing, the first thing you learn when you step into the red pill space, and it changes your life. Let's keep going.
Cheated on, if they had a magic pill, one would make them forgive their partner and the other one would give them the willingness to walk away. Which pill would they take? Most people wish they had the ability to walk away because they don't want to live with those thoughts and flashbacks. If you gave everybody those options, men or women, they would take the pill that says, "I have the willingness to walk away and understand that this is not healthy for me," rather than a pill that makes me forgive. When you know your wife has slept with another man, had sex with another man, every position you've done with her, she's done it with another man, and you show forgiveness on that end.
You're discounting what a relationship is. A relationship is two people who...
Okay, so she just touched on a major point just now. And she was talking about the mental imagery that starts to play in your mind as a guy when you find out your girl cheated on you. Here you're thinking in your head about all the positions that she was in, what she was doing. She was on her knees. She was riding him. She was this. I promise you those images are going to come into your mind, and that is going to mess you up. And so I have some advice when it comes to this, because a lot of times when men get cheated on, they want to know all the details, right? Where did you have sex with him? What position did you do? Did you give him head? Did you do this? Did you do that? Did you swallow? What did you do it raw? You don't want to do that, because I know in your head you're thinking to yourself, if I know what happened, then it will be less stressful on my mind. Because at first there's a question mark. You don't know all the details of what she did, and that haunts you. That haunts you, like, "Oh my God, did she do this? Did she do that?" The question mark haunts you. And you're hoping that if you can eliminate that question mark and now know the details, that will somehow relieve that from your mind and make it easier for you to sleep at night, and it will move the detail. It will only enhance them and make them 10 times more vivid in your mind. A man's mind is very powerful. Like I said, we all know that men are very visual creatures. We can fantasize of the most wildest stuff. You do not want to turn your mind against you. I've talked to so many men who've done this, and they always say, "I wish I didn't know." I'm here to tell you guys, if you ever get cheated on, you don't need to know all the ins and outs of what happened and what position and this and that. I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to know if you ever get cheated on as a guy. Number one, you want to know if it happened. You want to know the raw fact. Did it happen? Yes or no? Once you know that it's a yes, okay, boom, that's number one. The second thing that you need to want to know is who it was with, right? You want to know who it was with, because, and the reason why I'm going to tell you this, is because you want to know it could potentially, a lot of women nowadays cheat with your best friend. They might cheat with a person you know. They might cheat with a family member. So you want to know who, just so that you can remove those people from your life as well. You don't want those people hanging around you either, because they're not your best friend if they engage with that, or they're not someone you want to have around you. So know if it happened, who it was with, and secondly, if it was unprotected. Because if you're having sex with her unprotected and she's having sex with another person unprotected, you want to know that way for your health. You can go get a checkup. You can go get, tested to make sure that you're clean. So did it happen? Was it protected or unprotected? Who was it with? That's it. That's it. You need to save your mental health. Your mental health is key, bro. It is. You need to really protect your mental health as a man. And when a woman cheats on you, it sends you into a mental spiral. So protect your mental health. Those 3 things are all you need to know. You do need to know what she was doing, how she was doing it, how many times. All that matters is, did it happen? Who was it with? Was it unprotected? After that, leave. Just leave. Doesn't matter. And just focus on improving yourself and bettering your life and just move on from that. But do not sit there trying to figure out what all the details of what she did, because it will mess you up mentally. All right? That's just some free game. But let's keep going.
Have built something together. By the way, in many cases, if someone cheats on you, leaving is easier. Leaving is the easier way out. Staying and healing and doing the work with someone to get over it is the harder path. People don't take the easy pill of just leaving a lot of the time. And not just because they're desperate or because they're too weak. Sometimes they take the other road because they are brave and because they actually believe in the relationship and they love the person
But
and they
the
want to
love
make it
is
work.
not reciprocal. It's the key component, because if it was reciprocal, nobody would be doing something that would fundamentally destroy it. Yes, you can forgive, and it's a difficult route and you can go, but what you're ignoring is cheating is a symptom, not the cause of the pain. There's a deeper issue of respect in the relationship that's been lost. There's a deeper issue of transparency in the relationship that's been lost.
In a relationship that's healthy, there's standards that you're supposed to have, right? And hopefully you communicate those, but some of those are uncommunicated. We're not supposed to cheat if we're in a committed exclusive relationship.
And especially
There's a standard.
reciprocated.
It should be reciprocated. We're going to trust each other. We're going to be loyal. We're not.
A woman has to get to a certain place mentally in order to cheat on a man. You've heard this said many times if you've been in the red pill space. A woman has to get to a certain place mentally to cheat, just to have sex in general. Think back to you getting women and how much effort and, talking and emotions and all the stuff you had to do to sleep with that girl, right? And then put that on to the situation. It wasn't just, it just happened. She had to allow it to happen. It got so far that she was talking to him. No, she was flirting with him. He was flirting back. Probably he flirted first. Maybe, more than likely, because guys make the move. She accepted his advances. She was flirting back. She was talking to him. She took his number or Snapchat or Instagram. They start talking even more. They start talking about more sexual things. Maybe sending pictures back and forth. They meet up. They kiss. They touch. Clothes starts coming off. All these steps along the way, she could have caught herself and pulled back. It's like, oh my gosh, no. What am I doing? She allowed it to progress through all of those steps until clothes got off, and then she allowed him to dominate her. Typically multiple times, not just a one-off thing. And you're telling me that she still has respect for her man. The love is still there. She didn't do it because she didn't respect him. Bro, I'm telling you guys, it's a hard pill to swallow. It's one of the hardest red pills to swallow, but you need to honestly accept it. She cheats, it's over. You might love her. You might wish it didn't happen. You might wish that you could go back to a time and when you guys were in love, and maybe if only I could not think about it and I could just pretend it never happened. You'll always remember it happened. Every time you look at her, You're going to imagine some other guy doing some things to her that you don't want to be imagining. You're going to be imagining her allowing. You're going to imagine her smiling at him, looking at him, touching on him. It's so hard to come back from. It's so hard to come back from. I've seen men struggle with this. Bro, I want to, but they're telling me this. They're telling me this. Like, I love her so much, bro. But I just can't get it out of my head. I can't get the imagery out of my head. I can't believe she allowed this. Don't do that to your mental health. Okay? There's too many women out there. Too many beautiful women. Too many good women, loyal women that will actually treat you right to sit there and torture your mental state with a woman who chose to do you dirty. There's too many women. Don't do it to yourself.
If it was a man that cheated on the woman, should the woman stay if the man says, I'm really sorry, it's never going to happen again? Or he just says, I'm just not getting my needs met.
Would she be brave for forgiving him and very kind for forgiving him?
She might be, yeah. We're very definitive about saying 100% of the time with women, they are incapable of such grace.
Yeah.
That they cannot do it. In fact, for them, the only motivator is how manly and masculine the person is, and apparently that's defined by him rejecting her after.
Whenever I've done videos where I talk about this, the endless amount of comments and messages I get saying this is 100% true. I forgave my wife. She did it again and again, and I found out my children weren't mine. She did it again. The risk of men forgiving cheating is bigger than the risk of women's forgiving cheating.
If a man cheats and he leaves her on her own with kids, that doesn't represent a giant
it does.
issue. In your mind, the issue is bigger if she cheats and
he has children that he's paying for. I know,
bro. If he leaves, first of all, see, like I said, he's just talking. You have to talk, but also know the reality of life, the data. When you look at the data, most men don't leave, whether they cheated or didn't cheat. Most men don't leave because most women leave 70 to 80% of the time. So you can't just say, well, if he leaves, that's not a risk. Of course it's a risk, but you have to think about it this way. First of all, most men don't leave. Second of all, if he leaves, he is heavily penalized. So yes, it's a risk, but she's going to be financially taken care of because of the marriage contract. She's going to get alimony. She's going to get child support. So it's not the same thing. If a woman cheats on a man, does he get alimony? Does he get child support? Is there any compensation for what he just went through if he decides to leave? No. But there's a huge risk because, like she said, we've seen so much more videos come out this year about men talking about, I tested, the kids weren't mine. My wife's been cheating on me. One of them that comes to mind was, I believe it was that lawyer. There's that bigger white guy sitting in his car talking about, yeah, my wife cheated on me and I tested my 2 sons and neither of them are mine. Bro, it's a far greater risk because you now don't know. One of the main things men want is to know that their children are theirs. We want paternity. We want to understand that kid is ours. When a woman is, we already are like guessing and like hoping a woman doesn't step out on us. When you know a woman is stepping out on you, it's like it throws up so many red flags in your brain. It's like you are now completely unsure about paternity or future paternity because you know what she's capable of and you can never feel secure in that relationship again. I'm telling you, bro, don't put yourself through that. She's absolutely right. There's far greater risk for taking back a cheating woman.
Cases of men going to jail.
Right, so there's a financial obligation, but that's a worse one than the woman who's going to spend her life raising children on her own when a guy leaves.
And my husband doesn't pay child support. The law will help me.
You'll still be raising kids on your own.
I will be, but
that's a lesser
you asked
risk.
Financially. You asked financially, so I'll stay on the finances.
No, I'm saying is the finance a lesser risk to you than a woman having to bring up a family on her own?
Bringing up the children alone will happen, men or women cheating, or just a breakdown of relationship. But here's the key difference. If I have a child with somebody and he chooses not to pay child support, I can get the law involved. But if I pretend the child's his and he's not paying child support, he can end up in jail for a child that's not even his.
If a woman cheats and doesn't tell the husband he's with and has a child that's not the husband's child, The
Imagine
man,
the emotional consequences of that. Imagine that. So we're women, look, we always know our child is ours. One thing we can go through life is with that certainty that even if we're left alone raising this child, this is my child.
Yep.
I bore this child. And yes, it's difficult, but it's in my child. The emotional consequences of raising children and then figuring out they're not yours, or going to jail for not paying child support and the child's not even yours.
So many people will be watching this going, I've had infidelity in my relationship and we're 10 years past that and we have an extraordinary relationship. And how dare you invalidate my entire relationship?
What about the millions?
No, so many people will not be saying that. Infidelity destroys relationships. There's not so many people who got over it. Do they exist, people who got over it? Yes, but not so many people. He's blowing it out of proportion.
People who have watched it and thought to themselves, if I had just known this, I wouldn't have carried on with that woman, started a family with her, and now she lives in my home with another man and I pay child support. What about those people?
Awesome video. I am so glad I picked this one because I didn't know it was going to be this good, but I'm glad I got to cover this topic because it is a problem facing so many men today. When I look at the comment section of videos from Red Pill videos or just, Manosphere or just relationship videos, so many men are getting cheated on. Bro, I literally think now more than ever, the data is out that like women cheat more than men. The amount of men reporting that they have been cheated on is insane. Insane. Women are cheating left and right, and men need to know how to handle it, bro. Men need to know what moves they need to make, and I'm glad I got to cover this because your move is to leave. Don't put yourself through that hell. Don't put yourself through that disrespect. Don't put yourself through that emasculation. No. Don't do it. Right? I don't even want to say, I don't even want to say or give you a if. Well, if she does this, then no. Because here's the thing. Most of the time, it's not going to work. It's not going to work, bro. Now, are there some cases where the woman is willing to showcase that her loyalty but see, I wouldn't even go for that, bro. I wouldn't even go for that because you can just never trust her again. It's too much of a betrayal to come back from. And mostly, I just think a man deserves better. For what a man has to do, for what a man has to bring to the table, for the sacrifices a good man has to make for his woman, he doesn't deserve a cheating partner in return for that. He doesn't deserve that. So I'm not even going to tell you to do otherwise other than leave. Because I feel like you'd just be doing yourself a huge disservice and you'd be minimizing just how much value you bring in thinking that what you deserve in return is a partner that would allow herself to be dominated by another guy. No, I'm not going to tell you otherwise. Leave, bro. Leave. And like I said earlier, don't be asking all these questions about what happened and what position on. Cherish your mental peace. Protect your mental health. Know the 3 facts that I mentioned, and then get out. Find yourself a good girl. And I know we talk about the bad women a lot in the red pill space, but I want to say this, bro. There are good women out there. There's good women out there with good morals, good values that are going to respect you, are going to value you, that are going to overlook all the influences and guys, flirting with them and all the attention. And even if you're going through a rocky spot in your relationship, there's still women out there that will not resort to cheating. And because there are women out there who are like that, there is no reason for you to stay with a cheating woman. None. You can absolutely do better. It's rare that we tell men they can do better, right? We're always telling them to tough it out, to power through it, be a bigger man. No. I'm going to tell you that you can do better. So do better. All right? Keep your heads up, men. I know you guys have been through a lot. There's a lot of guys out there who've been cheated on, been used, abused, found out their kid isn't theirs. That's heartbreaking. It's soul crushing. Keep your heads up. Keep moving forward. and don't quit on yourselves, bro. But let me know what you think about this conversation, all right? Let me know who you think was right. Let me know who you think was wrong. I know there's a few ladies who watch the channel, so give me your perspective on this. Do you think that you can come back from cheating as a man or as a woman? Do you think that it can be fixed? Do you think that a woman is truly sorry and she doesn't view her man as less after he accepts her cheating on him? Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. And until next time, guys, take it easy.
Wisdom will save you also from the adulterous woman, from the wayward woman with her seductive words, who has left the partner of her youth and ignored the covenant she made before God. Surely her house leads down to death, and her paths to the spirits of the dead. None who go to her return or attain the paths of life.